Mama, say my view, wow. Mama, say my view, wow. Mama, say my view, wow. Mama. Mama, say my view, wow. Mama, say my view, wow. Yeah, yeah. Okay. Yeah. Oof. Okay. Let's get it started. Mm. Mm. All right. Why are both are there for the other ones? Why are Lamogu? We're just gonna hit it running now. I came quite late, man. When night this Sunday at the evening, but I had to run down from where I was. I was with a couple of friends that were celebrating their birthdays, so I had to quickly just run down. So that's why I came a bit late. But we're hitting the ground and we're hitting it running immediately. Before we start, when I was reading something this morning, I stumbled into an excerpt that I quickly want to read to everyone, to greet all of you. I want to quickly read this. It's quite interesting. Let me just quickly read it. Let's see what where was it? I ran into these something on Oromia. I want to quickly read what Dr. Aisha Hagosa was saying, so that before we hit the topic running. Where would that have been? That have been page 20. Okay, maybe that would be page 20. Okay. All right. Okay. Okay, I'm quickly going to read this excerpt before we start. This is LY. So page 19 to page 20. I want to quickly read something. There's something Dr. Aisha Hagosa spoke about. We had series of arguments on this topic. Thank God that they had to series into with some of us. Thank God he spelled it very correctly here. This is what Dr. Aisha Hagosa wrote. This is about Prince Ikaladeran. I wanted to read it, so we all should pay rapt attention. Prince Ikaladeran, about 900 years ago, was the son of the last Ogisho, king of Benin, said to have been ordered to be executed by his father, the king, in obedience to an oracular directive. His life was spared by the executioners in disobedience of their orders. The distressed prince wandered further into the Igor Ikpako forest in search of safety. He was reputed to have stayed for a considerable period in Uwoton, where he built a palace and had a sizable number of retainers. A time came when the Benin authorities began to threaten his establishment in Uwoton, as narrated in a well-known folklore, complete with the accompanying songs. So the prince deserted the village and doubled back northeastwards. He founded a Roi village in Uhuode and ended up in the Yoruba country. In the town of Ile-Ife, where he attained a kingly status. There he fathered Prince Oromia, who came to Benin to found the ongoing Oba dynasty. All right, listen to this paragraph. This is what I wanted us to be aware of. This paragraph is very important. Listen very attentively. The Kaladeran story is faithfully replicated in the later story of Prince Ijinwa, the son of Oba Olua, who about 3 centuries after Ikaladeran was also a Benin prince in some distress in the riverine areas south of Edo land. Ijinwa had also ultimately become a king in those unfamiliar surroundings. Had Prince Okpame, later Obazolwa, not returned to Benin from Ora land, on the entreaties of the Benin chiefs after the death of Obaolua. The city authorities would have sent to Ijinwa, now a king in the country of his sojourn, to return from the rivers and occupy the throne of his father, Olua. This was exactly the same set of circumstances which brought Prince Oromia, Ikaladeran's son, to Benin. Do we understand? I wanted us to get, do we understand what I just read? What Dr. Aisha Hagosa was saying, that the circumstances of Ikaladeran in Ile-Ife and Prince Jinua in Warri would have been the same. If not that Prince Okpame later agreed to become the Oba. You know, in our previous classes, I've always talked about that Ijinwa was sent out, he founded a kingdom of his own. Then his uncle, all right, also ran from Benin because of Emil Honou. He was banished from Benin. So at the time the Ijinwa's father died, the throne became vacant. So the Benins went to plead with Prince Okpame to return back. He did not agree at the first instance, but he later agreed. Should in case Prince Okpame had not agreed to return back to Benin, alternatively, the Benin chiefs would have gone to look for Ijinwa to return back to Benin to become the Oba. Exactly what they did when they had no king in Benin. They had to go back in search of their prince in Ile-Ife. If that circumstances of going to Warri, to go and tell the Warri people now to return back our son, Jinua, I'm sure the Shekiri of the present era, certainly the way they are going, would have said that there was a time in Benin history, Benin had no king. The Benin people sent to Warri for Warri people to give us king. Therefore, the Warri people, probably if the Jinua could not come, will not send the son. So therefore, the Warri people will not be saying that they give us a king. The same instances. That's what Dr. Aisien Ihagosa was explaining, that it's the same instances. Should Ozola not agreed, the Benins would have gone to Jinua, who has already also established a kingdom of his own, to return back. If that event would have happened, I'm sure that the modern Ishekiri people would have not been saying that there was a time in Benin we had no king, that it was not the Ishekiri people that gave us king, just like the way the ignorant Ile-Ife people are certain. Exactly. So I just wanted to brief us of what my mentor was talking about. But meanwhile, a lot of persons would have been shocked that I wrote Warri Kingdom. I spoke extensively about them. I just wanted us to understand some basic things about the current trend. I want to put my own voice on the matter. I like to be very objective. Okay, if I'm emotional, I don't get too objective, but I'm not emotional now. I like to be very objective. Let's be very objective with the matter. The matter has to do with the Ayiri, the Ologbosere, the ex-Ologbosere or whatever of Warri Kingdom and the Olu of Warri. A lot of persons have called and tried to see what's my take on the matter. All right, and I've followed the trend. A lot of people have had several separate trends, opinions about the matter of Ologbosere, Warri, and all of that. But this is it. First, understand this. If I'm speaking on matter of kingship, I try to be in the shoe that if the same exact thing had happened in Benin Kingdom, what would be my reaction? Because But there's a parable in Benin that says Gaye Begi. Someone will have to correct me on that. Gaye Begi na ya bu onye wagbon. Na ya bu onye wagbon. You understand? You take a sober reflection, put yourself in the same shoe. All right? It is the fairest of all judgment. It is the fairest. You have to put yourself in the same. Gaye Begi na ya bu onye. Na ya bu onye. All of these things can be difficult, but someone can help me with that. Where I am for, But we understand that parable. It's a popular parable in Benin. So I like to put myself in the shoe, all right, to understand. All right, if the event had happened in Benin Kingdom, do the Oba of Benin have right to derobe or suspend or abolish the title of Ologbosere? If it had happened, Ologbose, not Ologbosere, or it's Ologbose in Benin. That's the question. A Benin man will say, yes, Oba Benin has the right. But if you not judge that the Olowori do not have the right to derobe the Ologbose in Warri Kingdom, that means you're being biased. Ayabonye nedo ya wegbege na ya bonye nedo. So that's what I'm saying. So na ya bonye so you have to. So if we feel as Benin people that the Oba of Benin has a right to derobe or abolish or whatever, so we should also not believe that the Oluwari also have the right to derobe, suspend, and all of that. So I've clarified that. So those of our Edo brothers who are saying that the Olu do not have that right, they are not saying the truth. He's the king. I've always said it. If you don't respect the occupant, respect the institution. I've always said it. We that understand Benin beyond the surface level will understand that loyalty is to the institution, loyalty is to the throne, and not the occupant. When we say Oba Atokwe, we are not saying Oba Atokwe to Oba Ewari the second only. We are saying Oba Atokwe to every Obas of Benin, every Ogisos of Benin. So that's what it means. So loyalty is to the throne, to the institution, and not to the occupant. As far the Atuwashe, the third, is sitting on that institution, he must be respected. That's what I believe. He must be respected. But however, this is my opinion on the matter. However, first, I want people to, I don't like people misquoting me out of context. I want people to understand that Olu has every right. Olu, I heard they now refer to him as Oba. Whatever they refer to him, it doesn't matter. He has every right, all right, to suspend, derobe, all right, any chief that he wants to. He's a king. If he doesn't have the right, then what makes him a king? He's a king, so he has every right. But however, what Izodua is saying is that though he has a right, I want people to understand this, though he has a right to do that, but it was not the right thing to do. I'm not questioning the authority of the Olowori. Though he has a right, but it is not the right thing to do. And I will state my reasons why I feel it's not the right thing to do. First, there is an history behind that title, Ologbose. There is an history behind that title. When you abolish that title, you abolish that history, that part, that history behind the title. And when you abolish that history behind that title, you abolish a very vital part of the Shekiri history. You abolish the very vital part of the Ishekiri history. All right? All right? Now, coming back to Benin so that we can basically understand, I like to make references. If it was in Benin, what would the Oba of Benin would have done? This is it. I've studied the Benin history to an extent that I know that this would have been the reaction. The Oba would have sanctioned the title holder, suspend the title holder, derobe the title holder, but not abolish the title. Since all my years of studying Benin history, only one Oba have attempted to abolish a title. I will tell you now, he did not succeed. Coincidentally, it was a title that gave birth to the creation of Ologbose as a title. Only one Oba have attempted to abolish a title in Benin. Only one. There are other instances though, but it was not abolishing of a title. It was the Oba didn't want that family, like Oba Eweka II. He didn't want the Awo family to retain the Ewekas. Sorry, the Oba Eweka II didn't want Awo family to retain the Obaseki title after Awo died. The Awo family protested. Oba Eweka did also succeed. But this is a clear case of abolition of a title that you don't want that title to exist again. It happened in the time of the reign of Akenzwa I. Listen, Oba Akenzwa I. Because the Iyase of that era was very vindictive, was very high-handed, he protested exactly the same scenario. Exactly the same scenario. Exactly the same scenario. Lily white because they are ignorant. Exactly the same scenario. The Iyase there protested that Oba Akenzwa I he will never allow him to become the Oba. Eventually, Oba Eweka I eventually became the Oba. So the Oba Akenzwa I, not Oba Eweka. Sorry, it's Oba Akenzwa I, not the second though. Oba Akenzwa I reigned in the 18th century. So when he now became the Oba, he was so infuriated by the deceit, by the wickedness, by all the BB grammars you can use of the Iyase of Benin. So he wanted to abolish the Iyase title, but he did not succeed. The Iyase was going at the time when the Obas were very powerful. Listen, this was a time when Oba would tell you jump. You ask the Oba, how high do you want me to jump, Your Majesty? It still wasn't possible because Iyase is not a small title. Iyase is a big title, and whoever holds it is powerful. And the Iyase then was protested and was going to cause a civil riot in the kingdom. And he apprehended Oba Akenzwa I. And Oba Akenzwa I denied, I'm sorry to say, but this is what the history said, denying that he didn't want to create, he's not abolishing the Iyase title, that he wanted to create a title of Ologbori Iyase, that the title that he heard that he had created to abolish or to replace the Iyase was not to replace the Iyase, was a sort of a subsidiary of the Iyase title. He now said that Iwe Ologbori Iyase, Iyase's what's it called? Iyase's cats, Ologbo, cats, Ologbori Iyase. And the first title holder of that Ologbori Iyase was one chief, Ogboma. I want people to understand this. Like I've said, in all my studies of Benin history, only one Obas have attempted to abolish a title because he felt betrayed by whatever that one of the you understand. But eventually, or sadly, he did not succeed. He did not succeed. Now, there were attempts, even in the far, like Oba Eweka I, when he became the Oba, top-ranking chiefs had insisted that he would not become the Oba of Benin. When he became the Oba, do you know what he did? He did not abolish the title. Because if he had tried to abolish the title, the Benin people would have protested. Otherwise, he eliminated the first generation, all the title holders, and replaced them with their first sons. He eliminated the Oliya, he eliminated the Dohen, he eliminated all of those, about 14 of those chiefs that were into the conspiracies, and replaced all of them with their first sons. With their first sons. Exactly the same thing that happened to Prince Idugbowa. The four chiefs, all right, that contested Prince Idugbowa's qualification or whatever to the throne. The moment he became the Oba, he eliminated them. He did not abolish the title. Because when you abolish the title, you are abolishing a very important aspect of your history. So you don't abolish the title. You sanction, you suspend, or you derobe the title holder. All right, that's what you do. That's what every Obas of Benin would have done. You don't abolish your Ologbosheri title, but you abolish Chief Ayiri. Otherwise, because of Chief Ayiri, why would you not deny the future of the Shekiri people, of the history of what the Ologbosheris, previous Ologbosheris, who probably would have also sacrificed for the land, the field of that history? If Akenza the first would have succeeded, you and I probably would not have been talking about Iyase. Nobody would have been aware of probably if there was ever a title called Iyase, or the title of Iyase could have just been one of the titles that, oh, there was a title in Benin that was abolished. The history that has came up with all of the Iyases, Ekmenede, and the likes, those great Iyases, you and I would not have been. The Iyases, Okizi, the Iyase, the likes of Iyase, Humphrey Omosai, all of us would have been talking about the history, or the remarkable history these lines of Iyase would have created, because one Iyase had messed up, and because of he had messed up, you abolish that title. I'm not saying I would give Isehure cannot, even the Oba of Benin, I've said it before, cannot, even if he wants to, he can't abolish the Isehure title. He only suspended Amo Aburo, the title holder. Isehure title is hereditary. No Oba can abolish any hereditary title. What you can do is to derobe him. Like they have said, is it derobe? I don't know. It's to suspend the title holder. But that is a Hure title. If the Nosahai, the present holder of the Sehure dies, his first automatically becomes the next Sehure. That's how it is. It's hereditary. Yes, exactly, Stephen Wise. Even as Esama do reach, I wanted to also talk about the Esama. It was suspended. Even Esama had to contest it. That Egi Nera Mamae Owe Miae. Otherwise, the Benin makes it quite impossible that if I'm the present Oba of Benin, I gave you a title. On no account should my own son, the next Oba of Benin, strip you away from the title. Otherwise, it becomes irrelevant. If tomorrow, the present Oluwatowashi III, may he live long on the throne, if tomorrow he passes on, his first son, I don't know, becomes the next Olu, and he now decides to say, I thereby recall the Ologbosheri, it becomes like conflict of kingship. That is why any title that precedes a particular king ought not to ordinarily be touched. You can suspend the title holder, but because of his sins, you cannot deny the future of your kingdom, of the history that title means. So that's my own argument. Like I said, he has the right to do anything he wants to do, but it was not the right thing to do. That's what his other word said. I don't want to make anybody go misquote me tomorrow. He has the right to do whatever he wants to do. He's a king. But It was not the right thing to do. If it was in Benin, like I said, if what the Oba would have done is to strip off the title holder, Ayiri, but he would leave the Olobose title. He will leave the Olobose title. All right? Because another great Ishekiri person who would probably be humble, who would probably serve the kingdom very well with his mind, might also come from that lineage. Why? Because of one, I don't know, whatever atrocity or whatever abomination or sins of one person commit and stripped the future of every bona fide member from that family the field or the right to also collect that title to right the wrong of probably the previous holder or two previous holders. All right? So that is my take on this matter. I hope I've been able to convince you and not confuse you. You understand? I just feel that they can amend their differences. And if the Olu wants to react because Ayiri is unrepentant, the Olu should deal with Ayiri and leave the Olobose title. The Olobose title is an integral part of the Shekiri history, or more correctly, Iwe history. I'm a product of history. And I would defend history. And I'm trying to defend history. That's my argument. So people shouldn't, I don't want people to get it right that I said that Olu or Warri doesn't have the right. No. I come from a tribe where we respect our kings so well. So I respect other kings, probably the one from Ile-Ife. All right. Why would I pick your? I can't pick your call when I'm on a live video, Uncle. I did live video. How would I pick your call? Anyway, Mocking Face. Some persons were trying to get it all confused. Mocking Face has been trying to reach me for quite some while. That he has a question for me and all of that. People said, why haven't I blocked him? I blocked him, but you still have other numbers that you're using calling me. Why even not banning that you're calling me now? Because he said he wanted to ask a question. I asked him that he knows when I do my live program. He should ask his question. You don't need to call me here so that we can trash all of your questions out. Like I said, don't scare them away. Draw them close. I can't pick your call, monkey face. I don't understand. The hand go pick. I don't understand. I know some people will say that they marry monkey face or buy you do admit. You know how Benin people talks. I don't have any business with him. It disturbs my life. He calls me. Disturb my life, and all of that. It disturbs my life. He calls me. He calls me by 11 p.m. I wouldn't even know who is calling until I start to hear what he's saying. All right? Okay. Thank you. It's very easy. He started using a line in my end. Anybody calls me now, once I hear his voice, I was like, "We swear." That's sort of a thing. So, and that's all. I can pick any call. I don't have his number. Anyway, I don't have his number. He calls me with different lines just for me to pick and all of that. So anyway, let's not get distracted. Okay, so I've been able to trash that one of the Warri out. Okay, I've been able to trash that one of Warri out. Then let's now go to the second topic. See, please, for I know he records people. Don't you get? I know him very well now. Whenever he calls me, I know he's on a live program. I just tell him that we're a real live program and that sort of a thing. What I'm saying is that he called me with a different line until I speak with him for probably 30 seconds or so. I capture a voice, then I'll know the kind of the person. Anyway, see, people shouldn't get distracted by him. Let's move on to another topic. Why? I don't want anybody to get distracted by, which is whatever. So, the next line is okay. Like I wanted to say, establish was like I wanted to establish is if anybody is able to convey the message to the Oluwari, if you able to convey this message to the Oluwari, please help me convey this message to the Oluwari. That this is what I have just said. You should deal with the title holder and not abolish the title. A lot of children in the future wants to read about the origin of the Ologose and how Ologose came from Benin. Obviously, Ologose was not part of the 70 chiefs that left from Benin. All right, it was not part, because at the time of Obaolua, all right, at the time of Obaolua, Ologose title has not been created. Obaolua was in the 15th century. Then the title was created in 18th century. We are looking at almost 250 to 300 years apart. So that means all of those other titles was already existing in Warri before Ologose was created in Benin, before probably they also left. One of the sons of the Ologose also left to become the Ologose in Warri, in almost 250 to 300 years apart. All right. Okay. So that's about it. Sometimes I would just hope you people are distracting me by responding to him. So let's talk about Queen Eden. I've explained it. Iya says pets, like Iya says pets, Ologbo, pets. Iya says cats. You understand? I think I've explained that already. Maybe you have to worry. There are a lot of them. Olia, Ero, Osodin, Ezomo, they call it Ujomo. Ero is there, Olia is there. Ezomo, Osodin is there. Uwangwe is there. There are quite a lot. There are 70, so even them cannot even remember all the 70s, because I was reading one of the works of I was reading one of the works of one of the Sekiri historians, so they couldn't even them can't even recall the 70 chiefs. Or I think they can be able to recall, I think about 26, and they said about, of all of the 26, I heard it's only one that is hereditary. That one is Oshodi. I think the only hereditary amongst all of them is Oshodi title. Abi? Someone should correct me. I'm not too sure. I think it's Oshodi. That is you. They spell it as, in their own, they spell it like, sorry, I'm calling it Oshodi. Rightly, it is called Osoidin. Are they related to the chiefs in Benin Bible? Yes, they were their first sons. I don't understand. It's just like I'm the chief Ero in Benin Kingdom. You get, when Genoa was leaving, he took my first son, who's supposed to be the next Chief Pharaoh if I die. They were the sons. Okay, I wouldn't have been very correct that they were only the first one. They were the sons of the 70 chiefs in Benin. They were their biological children. The Ihaimenowa Aredu, Imoni Abie, different Ihaimenowa Aredu, Imoni Abie Lili Jinuwa, 70. Ologbose did not follow. Get it? Mathematically, if you do the mathematics, if Jinuwa had left Benin probably in 1482, and the title of Ologbose was created by Obakenswa I. I think Obakenswa I reigned after Ewakbe Ozueri. By the way, Akenswa I should have reigned around 1720 or so. Maybe around that kind of 1720. So when you minus 1720 minus 14, let's say 1480. So one should do the mathematics. 1720 minus 1480. So one should do the mathematics. 1720 minus 1480. So one should press calculator and do the mathematics. Let's see the difference. All right. 1720, 1720 minus 1480. All right. 1720 minus 1480. That is 1720 minus 1480. Someone should do the mathematics for me, please, so that we'll know almost the age difference between the first 70 chiefs, all right, and when Ologbose was created in Benin, not when it left. One couldn't tell when it left to Warri, but one can tell when it was created in Benin. That's 240 years. So what that 240 years that we're talking about, maybe 40 years later, all right? Maybe 40 years later, that's when it was created. That was when it was created in Warri. So we are talking about almost about 280 years difference between the first 70 titles that was established in Warri and the Ologbose title. All right? I do not know the history. How come he probably went last, but now became first? All right? I do not know that history of how he probably went last. Obviously, he went last and now became first. I don't know that history. All right? I've given you the control now. Life of Elvis David. I've given you the control. You are an admin. Elvis David, you are an admin, so you are an admin of this group. So you have the power to block on my behalf. No, you have the power to block. But let me just block him so that he doesn't distract us. Because I see you all are very distracted. Okay? Exactly. But you have the power. Okay? So, can we continue now, ladies and gentlemen? So if Oluerejuwa, he also had issue with Iyase. Did Oluerejuwa, is it the first or the second? Did he ban Iyase? He didn't. He didn't abolish Iyase. It's the wrong. I've always said it. People should understand. It's the wrong thing. You can't abolish a title because of a holder. Ologbose, just like Iyase was created to checkmate the powers of the Ijon, the Oliya, the Edoen, the Ezomo, and the Eru. Okay. Obviously, they learned everything that they know from Benin. Everything, all of the application was from Benin. They know how to cheat. So that's why they requested from Ologbose to. Okay, are we seeing the history now? Are we seeing the history now? I'm beginning to see a lot of connection. Because you know that Ologbose title was created from Iyase. I said it just now. Iyase's pet. Ologbo Iyase. Iyase's pet. So, if the Iyase in Warri Kingdom was not misbehaving, The Warri people knew, or the Olus of them knew, that okay, since now Ologbo said that they wanted to checkmate the power of Iyase for Benin, now he can invite. Traditionally, it was a traditional process that was started in Benin that was not completed. So they now invited the Ologbo of Benin to checkmate the power of the Iyase in Warri, because that was actually the original function what Ologbo was created, to checkmate, to replace, to abolish, to replace the title of the Iyase. You see, Ayoga Yumodia Obuinaide. I hope you understand that. I hope you understand that parable. Ayoga Yumodia Obuinaide. When they are completely devoid of, when they lack in the knowledge or the wisdom to pull through, they simply come back to Benin to understand how to go through, which is normal, because this is the birthplace of their throne. So they have to come and learn the intricacies and the technicalities of how to go about it, which is normal. Okay? Which is normal. And that's exactly what they have done. They have succeeded. But the question now is, this is what I'm posing to Oluwatowashi the third, that if he had asked his chiefs on references of how to go about the abominable acts, presumably, that Ayiri have committed, and if they had referenced Benin, the chiefs would have been not better informed to tell him that no, in Benin, they don't abolish titles. You don't. You deal with the title holder. In the old, in the old, but now you don't. All you just do is to say that it's no longer the Sekure, like in the case of the Sekure. It's no longer, you cannot say it's no longer the Sekure. You will suspend him for parading himself as a Sekure, of having a traditional created title, if you so wish, that replaces the function of the Sekure. But the Sekure title remains, because it's an extant part of the history of the land. You don't tamper with your history. You don't obliterate. You don't exorcise a part of your history because of anger. Because of anger, you don't. So that's why I am telling, if my plead could go to the nobles, the chiefs of the warri, to tell him that His Royal Majesty, Ologbo as a title is not what has wronged you. It is the Ayiri that has wronged you. Deal with the Ayiri, but let the Ologbo title remains. So that's why I said the Olu has a right to derobe the Ologbo, but it was not the right thing to do. By abolishing the title, that's what I'm against. Not dealing with the title holder. You can't deal with the title holder. You're the king. Man, not too stressed for the matter. Might drink water. Water is life. Anyway, we've done that. Let's go to topic number 2. Topic number 2, I want us to pay a very rapt attention, very rapt, because I've always asked myself, I've always been thinking about it. In 2017, that thought came that what if esse ni deu nedo ma yere ba or yedo yeven or yena. I want you people to listen, because some of us are not trying to look deep into the past and see whether we can find remedy to the present tribulations bedeviling us as a people. And one of the remedy is what I want to share with you people today. I'm not a spiritualist, but I feel that the ancestors still reveals secrets of the past to their dedicated followers like me. I believe in the ways of the old. I believe in the ways of my ancestors. The secret is this. In 2017, I woke up one morning uneasy. And I was like, what is going on? Then the thought of Eden crossed my mind in 2017. Then I said February 14th should be declared as Queen Eden's Day. A lot of people have been celebrating it for the past 4 years. Happy Eden's Day. A lot of people have been celebrating Happy Eden's Day. But let me tell you a secret. Queen Eden is not happy. I was with an old man yesterday who also had written a letter in 2016 to Ogbede Ihama, who probably is a chairman of the Committee of Art and Culture, that a day should be set aside to celebrate Queen Eden. I didn't know when I had a mind. So he stumbled into some of our publications, some of our videos, GBD videos, and he saw that we were already doing something that he also had a revelation of. A year before, I had the same revelation of. I want us to understand, okay, the Yazis over do, okay, Yazis over do, because mean so no ma heke na ri no kare ehoho no. So, ovi den carry egbe mayene. Omoe wosie ese no nedo edo maye ere ese ni den unedo edo maye ere till now. Ese ni den unedo. Listen. Edo maye ere till now. Eden is the greatest Edo woman ever. She's greater than Emotan. She's greater than Idia. She's greater than every other heroine by far. And I've always said it. Agi mioma begene de do segena. No nari zese. Nevo Niehanari. There is nobody who will allow her, his or herself, to be sacrificed for a people, that for a nation or a kingdom that she will have no stake in the future. Idemabie Omawomo no ri oba wa hwe. Omawomo no ri huoge do wa hwe. But yet onari egbe ona kwenari yenze senedo. That is the greatest of all sacrifice a human being can make. Queen Eden fought war. Amami oko no yoko were there. Idia fought. I say this all the time because she had a stake in the future of the kingdom. The child, Oye, was Oba. So she had to fight, not for her or not for even us, but so that the son can remain being the Oba. Do you understand? But Eden sacrificed her life. No stake in the future of the kingdom that she has sacrificed for. You cannot, they are not. And today, in the chronology of Idia is everywhere. Aha wizoton. I have your name motan. But how wizoton? The motan only just supported Obaiwai. With or without a mortar, there would have been Obaiwai. And the kingdom, without Eden, they would not have become Benin Kingdom. That's what people don't understand. Deti demari beyaz omakwe nari nye zese nedo. Detomabe nari nye zese tomakwe. Detomabe nari nye zese. The king line would have been abrupted. Don't forget. Oba ewakbe wa ami hu ni bunwerie. Ni bie mone. Ya lefe. He didn't have no child for him. Then that woman is not being talked about today. Then other ones that did lesser than what she did are being talked about. Bina yari ruene immortal. What's an enemy ruene iden? Why hasn't she be deified? If she's not being deified, then it is now you and I that must change the narrative of Eden and let the world know what Eden is to. Let the world know. All right? We are school, Timmy, Edema. It's everywhere. We are all schooled. We are not dullards. Timmy, Edema. Timmy, we are not dullards. It was abolished, that title. What was read was that it should not be as a nickname. What does that mean? So that means it's not, the title is no longer there. It will not be as a nickname, so it was abolished. We read all of it, everything. I watched the video, so understand. So, this is my proposal. I'm springing into action. We've been doing it on a low scale. But next year, Queen Eden's Day is going to be explosive. I'll put all my resources into it. Because we have to do it for her. And when we do it for her, Edouard de Bedin. And going by the antecedent of the story, she seems to be a very jealous woman. She seems very jealous. Yes. Going by antecedent because he not tie your turn over no living thing must be allowed to step on a graveyard, on a gravesite. Any living things that steps on a gravesite must be sacrificed. Must be sacrificed. That's how jealous she is. So definitely she would have been rolling on a graveyard. That other heroines that did lesser than what she did. Awe ifu no ikebedo ni mawemi 7 years se nedo Edouard ya titi. Amagiri ya titi. Not akba ima okano kere. But yesterday, ima so kokare. Even I was with one of our relatives yesterday. And she asserted that Okani Okere, because there are 9 Okas. 9 Oka. 9 Oro. But no Kere or Okani Okere. So next week Wednesday, and next week Wednesday, my group, my GBD, we are going to Oka New to go and meet the Oka people. And we want to tell them what our minds are about the preparation for the celebration of her next year. We want to make it global. We want to make it international. And this morning, a lot of ideas were just pouring into my head. A lot of ideas were pouring into my head. And conclusively, what the idea was is that she represents sacrifices and she represents love. That dedicates that February 14th to there's a festival in festival in Agboyagi. Why not? Exactly. Why can't you? And iden. Yes, we can name our children. These are some of the things we're talking about. That's how we remember her. Iden. You understand? So, what my mind is, we're setting up a committee in the next 2 weeks. In that committee, I go a festival. There's a festival that is called. A lot of these things want to use this Eden Day to revise some of these things. All right, then this envy and all of that, we'll have to find a way of awemegbe, which is the cardinal idea of Eden, has to be reinvigorated using her as a case study, like it ought to be. So that day should be all about cooking massively. Cooking massively. Every houses in Benin, cooking massively. To be given to the neighbors, the poor people around us. And we have to do it in a way that the world must know why we are doing it. We're showing ourselves love. We're showing our neighbors love. We're showing everybody around love. We're showing ourselves love. We're showing everybody around love because she has showed us what love is all about. What I'm envisaging, we're going to have to carry China's life. That costs a lot of millions, but it's doable. It's doable. So we started preparation almost immediately. In the next 2 weeks, we're going to roll out committees. First, I have the way I do things. I don't go to politicians. I don't meet the big guys. I don't meet the elites. We want to do it. We want to pass a message. This is our land. This is our history. This is the woman that we're talking about, who she's so dear to us. And a lot of people said, why did you choose February 14th, Zodowa? Eden wasn't born that day. Nobody knows when Eden was born. Nobody knows when we know the year, but we don't know the day. So we don't know the day, we don't know the month. Why did I choose February 14th, 2017? A lot of people are trying to question that, my rationale for that. First of all, if the world celebrates Valentine's February 14th, how's that the business of we the Edo people? It's not our business. It doesn't concern us. It does what it celebrates. Who we recognize in Queen Eden, and we choose February 14th to celebrate her. It has nothing to do with Valentine. It has nothing. Valentine do not hold February 14th. All right, why did I choose that date? So that we can use that date to celebrate our woman who sacrificed her life, her time, for us, and obliterate the Western ideology of Valentine from our calendar as an Edo people. Let every of our neighbors or every other word, when we start it, I'm sure that the Gala people will say, Princess Inikbi also did the same. Let's celebrate Princess Inikbi. That same February 14 in replacement of Valentine. Then the Yoruba said, okay, Moremi did the same thing. Let's celebrate Moremi in replacement of the misconceived European or Western ideology of Valentine's, who we do not even know. We are celebrating Happy Valentine. It's even sexual. It's even sexually orchestrated or demonized or whatever you call it. What we want to celebrate, what that day is to us as Edo people, as Benin people, is that a purest, selfless woman sacrificed her life for a generation she has no stake. Sorry, calls are coming through. For a generation she has no stake in. For a generation she has no stake in. Please, I know we don't used to take things seriously. We don't used to take things seriously. But please, I'm pleading. No one is doing it for Izoduwa. This is not about Izoduwa. This is not about my association or my group. This is about the entire Edo land. It is prophesied that until we do it, this whole unity and all of those love that we're talking about, we might not be able to attain it because we've wronged my way mi khodawa no way mi no yunwa ni ma mia ma bizugbe mama gi mo ye ki no suppose no ye ohuni roeko ohuni no ya vieda ejon edini kaw ebo panya hin oredo no viema eveni odwasi mi ni bun utedo egwale mi owe na yinyere. That's all. Owe na yinyere. That's all. That's what I was told yesterday. Owe na yinyere. That's all. She's not asking for anything. Remember me. Remember what I did for this land. Remember my sacrifices. While others left, those who had stake, who had children, who had sons that will eventually become Enigis, that will eventually become the Oba, I had nothing. I could have run to my place of birth, Okaniu, but I didn't. I wanted the line of kingship to continue. Even when she sacrificed, what did Ewakbe did? Ewakbe didn't do anything. The only law that Ewakbe, the only agreement Ewakbe had was how to ensure that the lines of the kings continue. Ewakbe did not even put a law of remembering her. Even her own husband, that she sacrificed a lot for, could not even put a law to remember her. Don't forget, Edo was a slave that saved Ewai, Prince Ogun. When he became Oba Ewai, the first pronouncement he's made is that from today henceforth, my capital city will be called Edo. That was an instant remembering. And he went to exhume his dead body from Ogiefa's compound. I buried him at Awejendo. If you don't know, the small house, no one worry out their gates. No, that small house now was saying a gates or is where Edo is buried till date. He wasn't buried there. He was buried at Ogiefa's house. He went to exhumed his dead body and buried it at the front of the palace. Evagite awe edion oredo, which propitiated by Eshogma. He remembered that slave. A slave was remembered instantly by his benefactor. But Ewakbe could not remember the queen who sacrificed her life by also declaring a day na ayere or deifying her. It has always been like that till date. Nobody has remembered her. We have to change it. We have to remember her. Anyway, anyway, Tini Atane can take it with levity like we always do, or can take it serious like I think we should. But one thing to be assured, I will not be part of a generation who shows ingratitude to those who have sacrificed so much for their land. So I do the little I can, but I feel this is not about Izodowa anymore. This should be done to be as large as possible. Let's have a unity of purpose, of a something. And don't forget, and all of that. I ain't dating you what you bought by because I'm all of these things are connected to a reign, to a kind of a cycle of an issue. And I'm not a spiritual person, but those who are spiritual should understand where I'm speaking from. That these things is deeper than even my own expression. It is something we need to do for her. It's something we need to do for her. All right? What I mean, it's what I have in mind. What I had in mind this morning, I was like, after the committee is set up, we'll open a warehouse. Iden's warehouse. When I mean there's a warehouse, a building could be celebrated, could be could be opened, where everybody will go and be putting bags of rice. If we have 100 bags of rice or 200 bags of rice, so that we can cook 200 bags of rice with cows and have a trailer load of food to distribute around the entire Benin City on that day, with songs, with hundreds and thousands of people of Benin extract, starting from our own hometown, Oka, Kanio, celebrating around Benin. Then we'll now station. I'm having a lot of thoughts, though. That station at our graveside, even pleading for our forgiveness, for having failed for over 300 years, not to have remembered our heroism. Then I ask for our blessings. These are just thoughts that are coming to my head. We'll create all that in the next, on the 20th of October, which also coincidentally tallies with the birthday and the 50th anniversary of Omonoba Nedo Kwakolopolo by the 2nd of Gidigan, October 20th. Which also tally, that's the day we're going to Kadio. All right. We should also remember that that's the birthday of our monarch, and also his coronation day, his 50th coronation anniversary. We should also bear that in mind. That's on the 20th. That's on Wednesday. So these are about. So a lot of people will be part of it. Maybe by next week, on my live program on Friday, on Sunday, they will now bring a lot of people into the WhatsApp. We're going to create a WhatsApp group for that, for Strictly Queen Eden's Day. And we are rolling into, we are starting preparation earnestly and brutally, because what I'm having in mind is channel should cover that program live. Irrespective of what the cost will be, we can collectively roll it. This is about our history. This is about our culture. It should be covered live for the world to see. We'll do it for Eden. Anyway. Yes. And we're going to do it. This is the first time I feel that we're going to do something. Nobody, the stakeholders, the politicians will not have a penny in addition to it. Not have a penny. And they will see that the Benins will be united in cause. And I pray that the loving spirit, amen. Rest in peace, Captain Osa. Amen. It could be ITV, it could be whatever, but we have to want to have a national TV or a global TV that can spread the news bigger. All right. Anyway, I want to thank all of you who are here, who have been able to listen to my program. Yes, queen. She's a queen. Or she was a queen. Or she's a queen. She's still a queen. It's Queen Ohobano. Oloi. Oloi Den. Queen Iden. Oloi Iden. Alright? So it will be called Oloi Iden's Day, not even Queen. Should not be trying to be too westernized. Oloi Iden's Day. Which should be appropriate, not Queen. Alright? So, but please, I want us to take it very serious because it will be very serious. All right? Let people to start speaking the truth. February 14th, Benin is going to be shut down for Queen Eden. All the billboards, every place, Benin is going to be shut down for her. We're going to ensure that it happens. And it happens during our time. It started, not it happened during our time. It started during our time. It's a legacy that we want to pass through. And I can assure you, after we do it February 14, let's check what will happen between February 14, 2022 and February 14, 2023. Let's check what is going to happen in Benin Kingdom between that 1 year. Let's check if things will not change. Anyway, it's in your time. Why I was I'll see you guys next week Sunday, 7:30 p.m. So from next week Sunday, 7:30 p.m., we'll now open a WhatsApp group. I'll talk to my secretary, then we can pick it up from there. So I'd like to see all of us who are really very patriotic about our land get involved in this. So it can minimaririo boy to sanu dazi wetinika odu na nimao imaga goba sayo oba oyedo ma goba nedu de gbeden. So all of these, we should always keep on understanding that we represent the priestly and the royal lines of great men and women. So we should walk in the tandem of the greatness of the past to direct our footsteps, to ensure criminality's crimes. We should walk in the path of righteousness. We should walk in the path of truth. We should walk in the path of honesty. That is the path of a true Edo man. I've always been saying it. That is the path of a true Edo man. An Edo man is truthful, an Edo man is very honest, and Edo man keeps to his integrity. We must always allow these three principles of truth, integrity, and honesty guide us. It was a principle that guided the Benins of old, that made them did all the exploits that they did. It is a principle that we must employ as a people. I will brother not tema tagbe or master a yayi or more, you know. You only tax it. Why I was so bad talk by you. It's so I'll see you guys on Sunday. 7:30 next week. Bye, Awese.